Christmas presents. You're on good time. Okay, yours is done.
Check, check, check. All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 27th. The time is now 6:07 p.m. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brusher. Councilmember Coyle.
Here.
Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Patel. Councilmember Batil. Councilmember Pointer.
Present.
Councilmembership Freeman.
Here.
Madam Clerk, adequate notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975 has been provided by the annual notice sent to the Home News Tribune, Star Ledger Sentinel, and Desi Talk on December 1st, 2022, and posted main lobby municipal complex on that same date.
Thank you. Before we get started, we're going to move the resolutions of recognition up to now. So at this time, Madam Clerk, if we can start with Resolution 726 for Christian Foster.
Whereas Eagle Scout is the highest achievement or rank attainability in the Boy Scouting program for Boy Scouts of America. And whereas to qualify as an Eagle Scout, a Boy Scout must advance through 5 other ranks, earn at least 21 merit badges, and serve in a troop leadership roles, as well as plan, execute an extensive special project. And whereas the requirements necessary to become an Eagle Scout take years of fulfillment, and only 4% of all Boy Scouts ever achieve the rank. Whereas Christian Foster has completed the requirements for it and has been found deserving of the rank of Eagle Scout after having been examined by the Eagle Scout Board of Review. And whereas Christian installed a flag retirement box for American Legion Post 435, along with planting of shrubs and mulching the area. The project took 19 volunteers, a total of 170 hours. Christian found a damaged mailbox, made the necessary repairs, new paint, and installed a cement pad. Now therefore be resolved, the Municipal Council of Edison desires to recognize the achievement of Christian Foster in earning the rank of Eagle Scout, which along with his other civic activities demonstrates his dedication and commitment to the ideas of scouting and good citizenship.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I'd like to open it up to the public if anyone would like to speak on the resolution of recognition for Christian Foster. Can I get a motion to close the
Motion
public
close.
portion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public portion is now closed. At this time, we'll move to council comments. Would anyone like to mention any comments?
Council President,
Yes, Council Vice
I'd actually
President.
like to reserve mine to the end of all the presentations of the,
We'll do all three at once. Council President, is there a possibility to do all three and then bring all three up and comment on three? What is the,
I think that's fair, just
Yes. Yeah,
considering,
yes.
So call an audible as in the NFL terms. We'll do all the Eagle Scouts together, offering all comments. I'll reopen it up for the public comments and such. So at this time, Madam Clerk, if you don't mind reading R727 for Joshua Oliveria. I'm sorry. Should we do all
Call for
three?
each one, or you want to do that?
You can do it as a block. I think it's
oh, okay, do it as a block, okay, fine.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll do it as a
All
block.
right, we'll do everything as a block. So now we're on 7,
Thank you.
Whereas Joshua Oliveira, I hope I said that right, has completed his requirements for and has been found deserving of the rank of Eagle Scout after having been examined by the Eagle Board. Joshua's project provided the Hands of Hope food pantry with new wooden shelving units, storage totes to create more usable storage space. The project took 20 volunteers, a total of 131.75 hours. Whereas having created these 4 wooden shelf units with storage totes creates more usable space and allows for greater organization and ease of use for the pantry volunteers. This project has saved the pantry approximately $100 per month from renting storage units. Now therefore be resolved, the Municipal Council desires to recognize the achievement of Joshua Oliveira in earning the rank of Eagle Scout, which along with his other civic activities demonstrates his dedication and commitment to the ideas of scouting and good citizenship.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, could you read Resolution 728 for Haney Ghazi? And I apologize if I mispronounced that.
How was it? Okay. Whereas Hayes Gaza has completed the requirements for and has been found deserving of the rank of Eagle Scout. Hayes' project was to revamp the garden of North Brunswick Islamic Center. His project involved coordination with the mosque leadership and volunteers to access the needs of the mosque. Whereas there were 2 phases, changing and replacing the mulch around the building, adding plants around the garden for the front entrance. The project planting needed about 40 hours, and both phases were completed in 12 hours. The mosque has been a critical part of his life since childhood, where he has made a lifelong friends, learned valuable lessons, and developed a deep sense of connection to his faith and community. Whereas he has been fortunate to be able to give back when he was given the chance. The Municipal Council desires to recognize the achievement of Hayes Ghazi in the earning of the Eagle Scout, which along with his other physical duties demonstrates a dedication and commitment to the idea of scouting and good leadership.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I'd like to open it up to the public to speak on all of the Eagle Scouts. Yes, Commissioner Tamara.
Good evening, Edison Council. Charles Tamaro, Waverly Drive East, Edison, New Jersey. I'm here to recognize Kristen, Josh, and Hanny, but especially Joshua. Joshua's been a volunteer at the Hands of Hope Food Pantry for many, many years. There's no job that Joshua could not do there. He, in the morning, he'll help set up. He organizes the computers for our clients' check-in and our clients' registration. Josh has been doing this for many years, and he saw how organized we are in some areas, how disorganized we were in other areas, and that was our storage unit. After some large food drives, we would just take the food and basically throw it into storage units. So Josh came to me with an idea to build some shelving in our storage units. And so I said to Josh, I said, well, we got to check with management and make sure it's okay with them that you can do something like that. And they said, of course, but it becomes their property. So I didn't like that, but that's unfortunately what happens when you rent the facility. So Josh built, 4 shelves for our 2 storage units. And I know you mentioned in there about saving us money for an extra storage unit. By doing that, we got rid of that 3rd storage unit too. So you got to see the storage units now. Right now, they've got 66 totes full of food from a food drive that we did back in November. So Josh is, and Josh not only did that, he also did another project for us this summer. We received $60,000 from HUD, so we put new flooring downstairs, reorganized our basement, concrete work outside, and some electrical work and a new door. So Josh built us new shelves downstairs and reorganized our downstairs. So Josh deserves a second Eagle Project award, if that's at all possible. So congratulations to all 3 Eagle Scouts on their accomplishment. We know how difficult that is. I've worked with many, many different Eagle Scouts. As a matter of fact, 2 Eagle Scouts now are built a structure out in front of behind the food pantry so we can put food out there and people can drop off food. And you just come by and see it. It's an amazing job also. So congratulations, good luck. I know Josh is in his first year at Rutgers, and I know with his engineering background, he'll do well. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ms. Maria.
Hi, Maria Orchid, 83 Jefferson.
Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you to the new Eagle Scouts. Without their participation, they've helped us a lot, along with our cleanups at the boat basin as well as the Hands of Hope. So I'd like to, and the mosque, and I'd like to congratulate every one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to offer comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public comments?
Motion to close public comments?
Motion by Council Vice President Harris, second by Councilman Coyle. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public comments now closed. This time I'll open up to council comments. Council Vice President Harris.
Yes, Council President. You know, in this world we live in now that is so dark and with wars and so much division, I look at you three and the people who have sat there and been honored before you, and it gives me hope. It gives me hope for people who, such as yourselves, who want to give something back, who are so enterprising and doing these remarkable, remarkable projects. And so I want to thank you and congratulate you all for being in the scouting program and providing so much to our community. And I'd like to thank your parents and all the supporting people who have made this happen. And of course, to you, Tom McCann, for being such a great leader. So I want to thank you and congratulate you all. And we look forward to hearing more from you as time goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Councilwoman Ship Freeman.
I know I'm not a stranger to you guys because I usually come to your ceremonies, which are very beautiful. But I would like to thank you guys for so much and everything that you do to make this a better town, to show people that serving is not a bad thing to do. And I would like to let you know that when you do your projects and stuff, people do appreciate it. They do appreciate it because they tell me how much they appreciate the stuff you do. So I wish you nothing but success in the future, and I can see you as tomorrow's leaders. Thank you.
Ship Freeman. For myself, the one thing that makes the Eagle Scouts projects themselves, like, to me, very special is that they're not always like the most grandiose aspect from size, but in terms of what they represent and how they help the community, specifically the locations that the projects occur at, have immense benefit. Speak on what Christian did for the American Legion, having the flag retirement box there. I know that veterans are absolutely appreciative of that. Joshua, as was mentioned, with the Hands of Hope, helping with the shelving, that's something that helps with the efficiency of the pantry. And I can assure you that the people that are serviced by the pantry are appreciative of the Hands of Hope being efficient and helping them out. And to Haney, and if I mispronounce, I apologize in advance, but having an area where when you enter in, people are proud to see, and it just provides a light to the area. I know that is very appreciative. So with that, thank you for all of your efforts. Congratulations on your achievements. I look forward to what you have to bring coming forward. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to get prior to presenting the resolutions, if I can get a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Motion to adopt by Council Vice President Harris, seconded by Councilwoman Ship Freeman. This is for all three resolutions, 726 through 728. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Coyle?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes, big time.
Councilmember Ship Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes. At this time, I'd like to ask our Councilman Coyle to come up and present the resolutions. To our three Eagle Scouts, please come up.
Am I on? Okay. Not everything happens on the scene, it happens behind the scene. So you see, some things are staged. But first, welcome everybody being here. For those here for the first time, or those who've been here many times, thank you for coming out to our last council meeting of the year. Most important, proud of the Eagle Scouts here and all you do, as you heard from Commissioner Tomorrow and the great things you do. Much appreciated. I'm not an Eagle Scout. Wish I was. I think I tell Tom McCann that often. I'm told I could be an honorary Eagle Scout down the road. We've given out enough awards. I don't know if Commissioner Tomorrow is or not, but he certainly has helped enough Eagle Scouts. And for those who are listening who may have a project out there and want to submit a project, certainly reach out to Commissioner Tomorrow or the clerk's office. You can submit a project. They're always eager to do projects, right? And the families are always helpful in contributing. Well, actually, they can't contribute at all. Back that up. They have to raise their own money to make the project happen, which I find unique, that there's very little help they get from family or surrounding friends. They have to do this on their own, which makes it unique. But most of all, I mean, reaching this achievement, we all know means a lot on your resume. And when you move up in leadership, people see Eagle Scout. I think until you're in your 60s, it still means something today. And I know for those who are in law enforcement in the room, that when they look at your resume, I know they recognize Eagle Scout on your resume. If you do decide to move up in another leadership role, whether it's public safety or administration, it matters. Or you choose to join the service, it matters. For your entire life, this achievement will matter among others you will be qualified with. So congratulations. Thank you for all your time, what you do. And last, thank you to the families who dedicate your time. Anybody who may not be here, I know Gail's involved. She's not here today. But Tom, I know you do a lot of great things, and your friends behind you, you call me enough, maybe too much. I'm going to give out the cell numbers of everybody else on the council so you can switch up and calling others. But thank you for all your dedication and time and sacrifice you give to the children to be here today, because without parents, without role models, it just doesn't happen. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. I'll let you each say a few words, and then we'll bring up the family for pictures.
Yeah, so just want to thank everyone on the council, as well as my family, and especially, Mr. Tomorrow and the Hands Up Food Pantry for giving me the opportunity to serve.
I'd like to thank the council as well. I'd like to thank Mr. McCann for all the work he's put in, and my families, all the volunteers, these two guys who helped me a lot with the project, and all the donators as well, and the American Legion. I'd like to thank them.
I'd like to thank the people that donated for my project, and the imam and everybody for allowing me to work on my project, as well as the volunteers, Mr. McCann, and my family.
And if the families and friends don't mind coming up, we'll take a group photo. And let's not forget, since you're so great at raising money, we're going to list your name on a group of donation lists, and you'll be called by every nonprofit and hospital and organization around. Council President, the council would come up as well. You guys got to get in front behind you. Your parents are all with everybody? Enough room here? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. McCann, though, gets to be in the picture.
You can't? He can't be in the picture. Yeah, Tom, you got to be in it. We'll get someone to take the picture. She'll take the picture. Katie's got it. He's not. Do you want to get in front?
No, we're good. I was behind you. I got some.
Is this your son? I'll get behind you.
This is my
Fine.
son. I have to
Fine. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Come to the clutch.
Thank you, everyone. At this time, I'd like to ask Madam Clerk to please read R729 for Dora Ramos.
Whereas Dora has dedicated over 20 years of her life to charitable services, beginning when she became a part of Menlo Park School's PTA during her son's enrollment. Whereas Dora's established a nonprofit organization called Community Action Reaches Everyone, which is CARE. The sole purpose of CARE was to give back to the community by helping families in need. And whereas this nonprofit organization has helped many families over the years with fundraisers, health, fitness, tuition programs, scholarships, medical visits, even holiday gifts and celebrations. Whereas Dora's also worked as an attendant investigator for Edison Public Schools, where she was able to relationships and liaison with Edison schools, businesses, and New Beginnings Church. The dedication to helping those in need continued as Dora became very instrumental in helping women in domestic violence. And Dora continued to give back to her community by joining the YMCA board, as well as becoming a very active member of the Municipal Alliance. Whereas her unwaveringly and generous dedication to the families in need, the community in Edison, and the surrounding communities, we thank her. Now there's be resolved, the Edison Council finds it proper and deserving to recognize Dora for her dedication, commitment to our community, and the impact of her actions which improve the quality of life for all residents.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I'd like to open up to the public for anyone that would like to comment on the resolution of recognition. Yes, Maria.
Maria Orchid, 83 Jefferson.
Thank you.
As a member of the community, we've walked several times for the CARE. It's a very valuable program that Dora has instituted, and without her help and guidance, a lot of people were accommodated, as well as I've seen her through the community doing great works. And I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else like to speak in regards to the, yes?
Hi, Lisa Katana, Edison, New Jersey.
Thank you.
I would just like to say that I had a unique opportunity to work with Dora many times on many different occasions, being here in our community. And she is truly a dynamic, amazing, incredible woman who has done so many things for the township and for our youth in our township. So I would just like to thank her and wish her well on her future endeavors. Good luck, Dora.
Would anyone else like to offer comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public comment?
Motion to close public comment?
Second.
Motion by Council Vice President Harris, second by Councilwoman Ship Freeman. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public comment is now closed. At this time, I'd like to offer up comments to our council colleagues. Council Vice President Harris.
Yes. I've known Dora since I first got on the school board in 2012, and her presence was always just so warm. She emanated all this warmth and was a great help to the school board. Anything we needed, she was there for us. And Dora, you will be missed for so many of these wonderful deeds that you have done. You will be missed. I hope whatever your next act is something that's equally as wonderful as what your past deeds have been. So this recognition is so well-deserved, so well-earned, and we want to congratulate you. Thank you. Don't be a stranger, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President Harris. Yep. Councilman Coyle?
Thank you, Council President. I think all of us have known Dora for many years. Dora, where are you? You're just back there, you're doing your best to hide behind everybody. I don't know how you're getting away with that. But I don't believe she's going to retire, to be honest with you. I think I've heard this before, and I hope we continue to push you for one more year. I bet I can get the whole room to say one more year. But it's been wonderful to know you throughout the last, I think, 15 years and all the great things you've done from A to Z, putting a lot of smiles on faces that normally may not have that opportunity, and being involved and passionate for what you do. It's quite amazing. I hope there's some, change and you'll do another year for us. But I understand you need to live and have a life. So, but we'll still call you, even though you're not going to be available. We're still going to call for advice. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Coyle. And for myself, while I may not know you personally on a deep level, your reputation I've heard about for a long time, which goes to the fact that you've given back so much to the community. I cannot possibly elaborate more outside of what my council colleagues are going to say. So with that, I just want to say thank you for all of your dedication to our community. Thank you. At this time, can I get a motion to adopt Resolution 729?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Coyle?
Here.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes. At this time, I'd like to ask Councilwoman Schiff Freeman to come up and present the resolution.
Well, Dora Ramos, and I'm tell you also, I would also like to thank her husband, Jimmy Ramos, because Jimmy had to put up with Dora being gone and her being involved, and he's always been a helping hand for her. And I seen that Dora was retiring and leaving the place. I said, come on, everything she's done for Edison, we must recognize her. All the things, all the time she spent, all the energy she spent, you know what I mean? I guess she would be like you Eagle Scouts. That's how outstanding she is. She's a great person, and to know Dora is to love her. And I'll tell you one other thing, though. If you get involved with Dora and Dora knows you, you're going to start volunteering. Because Dora soups you right in. She said, oh, okay. All right, then you meet me at a place. We're going to be giving out toys to kids today. We're going to be doing things, helping people that are escaping danger, that need new apartments and new furniture and stuff. But I just want everybody to know that Dora is a gem, and when she leaves this town or when she goes other places, because she does have grandchildren, so Dora wants to enjoy it at all. So I just think that everybody in here should give Dora a hand for all the stuff that she's done for Edison. Thank you very much.
My gratitude to the council president and to all the council members, and to everybody that has something to do with this resolution. Everybody that knows me knows that I don't like the spot. I always stay behind. But I also wanted to thank today the PBA because they always been there for me when I needed a hand with the kids. And I see Jason, and I know Jason for so many years, and he was always there for me. Thank you, Jason. To everybody that helped me, volunteer work is not just me. It's everybody that extend a hand to me so I can help the families. And on behalf of all the families that we was able to help through this year, 28 years, I thank you on behalf of them, and thank you for the bottom of my heart, and thank you for this resolution.
Come on, everybody. Come on up. Come on, women rock. Come on up.
Very well deserved. Come on, Jason.
Yes.
Thank you. Before proceeding, I'm going to call one more audible. As some may know, it is unfortunately a last meeting for one of our council colleagues. And with that, I'd like to offer a mayoral proclamation. Whereas, proclamation of the office of the mayor. Whereas Joyce Ship was raised in Edison and attended John P. Stevens High School. And whereas upon graduation, Joyce attended the College of New Jersey, achieving a Bachelor of Science degree. And whereas after earning a bachelor's degree, Joyce Freeman began her career as an educator in Perth Amboy, initially working within the special education system, which led to her career as a literary coach. And whereas, among the many positions on boards and committees in which Joyce has served, most notable is her contribution to the New Jersey Department of Education Amistad Commission, where she served as a commissioner. And whereas, in November 2019, Joyce ran a successful campaign for a spot on the Edison Township Council. And whereas, Joyce Ship Freeman can be recognized and celebrated as she was sworn in as the first African-American council president on January 6, 2020. And whereas, Councilwoman Ship Freeman's steadfast commitment and unwavering support for women's rights, such as celebrating women with her Women Matter luncheons and educating the younger generation of women how to command excellence in themselves and those around them. And whereas, advocated for Edison's own splash parks, jazz music festivals in the parks, and other community activities. And whereas, Joyce has so generously shared her time, talents, and personal accomplishments with Edison Township and leaves behind a legacy of community pride and women empowerment. Now, therefore, I, Sam Joshi, Mayor of the Township of, do hereby recognize Joyce Ship Freeman and encourage all residents to honor her for her commitment and dedication to representing Edison residents, and in witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of Edison to be affixed this 27th day of December in the year 2023. Mayor Sam Joshi. At this time, I'd like to open up to the public for anyone that would like to make comment. Yes, Mr. Sweeney.
Rich Sweeney, Edison, New Jersey, 313 Sutton's Lane. Through the chair to Joyce Ship. Joyce, I tell you, we go back a long way. When our kids played basketball together, and actually that season, I was 9-0, and I bought the kids shirts that said 10-0. We lost the 10th game, but our kids are our kids are in their 40s now. It's amazing how time flies. But I really appreciate, as a taxpayer in Edison, for the way you served Edison, the way you served the women in this town. And congratulations, and don't give up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nagel.
Good evening, Council President, Council Members. Steve Nagel, 19 Back Drive, Eagle Scout, March 31st, 1978, 61 years old, still proud to have it. Gentlemen, congratulations. You will be an Eagle Scout the rest of your lives. I stand here this evening to commend our outgoing Councilwoman Joyce Ship Freeman for the work she's done. Richie talked about some of the accomplishments she made. I think it's important to leave a legacy, no matter what position you're elected to, whatever elected or appointed round you may have. The work that Joyce has done, not just with women, but the disadvantaged, and the formation of the Human Relations Commission, which in its infancy will yield great benefits to the residents of Edison for many, many years to come, are just some of the accomplishments she had in the brief 4-year term she had. Joyce, on behalf of all of the residents of Edison, thank you for your dedicated service as a councilwoman and as a member of our community. And personally, I just look forward to seeing what you're going to do next, because now you're going to be on this side of the podium. So thank you, Council President. Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Diamond. Mr. Diamond.
Bruce Diamond Calvert. Lois Wolke couldn't be here tonight. She wanted me to read this on her behalf. I am unable to be here tonight, but didn't want to let the opportunity of the last council meeting of the year pass without expressing thanks to Council President Pointer. Well, you'll get to read this again afterwards. And outgoing Councilwoman Chip Freeman. I thank Bruce for reading this for me. Boy, am I a monkey. Joyce, thank you for your time on the council. You've been an independent voice and explained issues from another viewpoint so residents could see both sides of the subject. Personally, I think the residents did themselves a disservice and Edison lost a valuable voice on the council. I know I will miss seeing you at the council, but I'll see you in the gym. Fred and I thank the entire council for their service to the community and wish you all a happy and healthy new year. From Bruce, Joyce, we come from the same time period. We see things a different way, and usually people like us don't get a seat at the table. I'm glad you got your seat, and the table's gonna be pretty empty without you. Thanks for your time.
Would anyone else like to make any comments? Yes, Ms. Conway.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I got here just in time. One of the reasons I came was to thank Joyce. She put herself out. She did the best she could possibly do for a council person, and I appreciate all that you have done, and hopefully you'll follow in my footsteps by just sitting at the other side of the table. Good luck, Joyce. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to make any comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public
Motion to
comment?
close public portion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public comment is now closed. This time I'd like to ask all of the council to please come up to present plaque for Ms. Freeman. Check, check.
Oh, you got two. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll start off.
Joyce, taking pictures first. Councilwoman, I can't say enough good things about you. And I know we do fight. And I have to call her sister to break us up once in a while. But even though we may be disappointed in the evening after a council meeting, the next day I can call her and say, Joyce, you going to breakfast? Okay, fine. How about in 15 minutes? Okay, give me 15. She meets with me right away, which I always appreciate in you. Now, she makes me pay for the damage I may have caused, but I think it's pretty fair, $40 breakfast over causing disruption in the council meeting. But on behalf of our team here, I think you've done a lot of great things. If people remember Joyce, remember her for fighting for women's voice, putting women on the fire department, making sure more women got promoted in the police department, making sure we have a splash park and other things. But the three I just said, you will never forget Councilwoman Joyce Ship Freeman for. And that is the label she has in the 4 years here. Not many of us can say they have a $12 million splash park. But Councilwoman Joyce Ship Freeman can say she has one. And that'll be maintained every year at a public service, and I think everybody will truly love it. And families will learn to play and get together and gather. So some great accomplishments. I'm truly proud for you. I want to pass it to Councilwoman Margot Harris for a few words.
Joyce, my sister from another mister, do you realize that your absence on this council means not only am I going to be the only woman on the council, but I'm going to be the oldest person on the council? This is not good. This is not good. But in all seriousness, as Joe was saying, we've had our differences, but we've also had an awful lot of laughs together. And I so admire the passions that you have pursued for the community. And they've all been mentioned here. I think one of the ones that I appreciate the most is what you standing up for women. And as was said before, women in the fire department, police department, and hosting the march, the women's event that we have at Pines Manor. You've done wonderful, wonderful work, and it shows it's going to have a lasting effect here. And we, as I was saying about Dora, don't be a stranger here, okay? Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you. Councilwoman Schifferman, everyone's kind of covered all the bases, but for me, there are three words that kind of come to mind. It's grit, determination, and passion. Now, I know grit and determination kind of side and side, but you get the point. If there's one thing to know about the councilwoman is that when she sets her mind on something, it is, I don't want to say a certain phrase because this is inappropriate, but it is gung-ho all the way. She puts 100% effort into all of her endeavors, and that is something as a resident prior to being on the council that I appreciated, and something as a council member that I appreciate. Because if there's one thing to know about Councilwoman Freeman is that she speaks her mind, she means what she says, and she will continue to pound the hammer on an issue until it gets resolved. With that said, I look forward to being here on a consistent basis, continuing to advocate for the items that you're passionate of. I thank you for your service. It's greatly appreciated. I thank you for your friendship. It's greatly appreciated. I wish you the best of luck going forward.
Yeah. John's a young guy, but I like him a lot. His parents raised him well. He has a lot of respect. That's what's good about John, too. And John is he proved to be a great council president as the year went on. Well, my idea of moving forward, and some people have lost it, but they don't understand when you're given a position, you're supposed to serve the community. You're not supposed to see what you can get from the community. You're not supposed to divide the community. What you're supposed to do is unite the community. And we have young people, and it's like these young men that's sitting here, they're looking at us. They're looking at us because they are the future. So we need to do better about some of the things we do. Because it's sad to me when I see other people in need, and the person with the money, they get all the attention. The other person that really needs the help, they're sitting over in the corner just sitting there. And I don't know that, I know it happened during my lifetime that we were more conscious of people in need. We were more conscious of moving the ball forward for people. We were more conscious about people's housing, about people eating and moving forward. So I'm just hoping that we as an Edison don't allow people to divide us, because as I was seeing the sports people come up, the same sports people should come up when they're closing a library, because the two of them go together. And we have to unite our school with the council and stuff, because, we're overbuilding. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of more work that needs to be done. All right. I know we're looking at real nice, shiny objects, but that's coming out of our tax dollars. Don't think they come free. All right. So I just want you to look around, and you guys continue, and everybody continues on what they're doing. I just want to thank everyone that supported me. And I know my friend Lois Wilkie, I will see her at the gym, and I will thank her a whole lot. But I thank everybody for all their support and everything you have done to make me feel good about what I do. Thank you.
And I apologize. Councilman Brescher had actually sent something, and it would be rude of me not to read what he wrote. Uh, again, from Councilman Brescher. I would like to personally thank Councilwoman Joyce Freeman for her dedication to the Township of Edison. I know she will continue to work to make Edison a nicer town. The work she has done has definitely not gone unnoticed, and I personally appreciate her dedication. Thank you, Joyce. I know that there are some people that are here for Joyce, so if anyone would like to come up for a picture, I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's patience with all these recognitions. Thank you.
She's arranging everybody.
Yeah, that's okay. You good? On three. 1, 2, 3. And Jim in the back. Just yeah, that's you. Don't block anybody's face. On three. 1, 2.
Oh, that's Joe.
Good job.
Thank you again, everyone. At this time, we will move on to our regular combined meeting. Starting with review of the minutes. A combined meeting of November 13th, 2023. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none. 6, reports from all council committees. Starting from my right, Councilman Coyle.
None, sir.
Thank you. Council Vice President Harris.
Yes. Let me just wait for people to clear out, if you don't mind. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We ready?
Motion to table.
We ready to proceed? Okay.
Yes, Council Vice President Harris.
Yes, so I've got 2 reports. First, we had the Cultural Arts Committee meeting, and Cultural Arts will be a commission, I am told, next month. But the Cultural Arts Committee met on December 12th at 6 p.m. right here in the council caucus room. And what was discussed is that we discussed the fact that the ordinance for making this a commission will be given in January. We verified that Tony Massaro is going to be the chair. We also talked about for the formerly known as Ferrante House, that Deborah Biederman, who has been a member of the New Jersey Symphony since 1967, she and some other musicians would be interested in performing at the Ferrante House. They enjoy doing these things. And so when the Ferrante House is finished and ready for some kind of fundraising event, we are going to be looking to them to play. It would be delightful. The house, the way it sits, once the patio is ready, is going to be just a magnificent place to hold something like this and have a quartet performing. We are waiting with regard to applications for the gallery downstairs. We're waiting for, and I don't know, has Mary McAvoy returned? She has returned? Yes? Okay. We were waiting for her to get the applications for the gallery in an official form and then be able to make those available. We talked about selling brick faces for the front entrance, and so that those can be dedicated to or memorialized for people, and that's is another fundraiser. We're not sure on the Ferrante House completion. It's sometime possibly in the spring. We decided our next meeting, we're going to keep them on Tuesdays, and the next meeting will be on January 9th at 6 p.m. Library Board was also held on December 12th at 7 p.m. in council chambers. And there was the question of accepting a check from the township reimbursement for medical insurance. And the Friends of the Library had a meeting in November. There's a book sale in April, and that's going to be for National Library Week for the 95th anniversary. Let's see. Menlo Park Story Times. We've had good feedback from the Menlo Park Story Times. The bookmobile was present at the Winter Wonderland. The MOU, with regard to the finance report, MOU regarding shared services, we're closer to an agreement on that. There are some issues over health insurance. There was a resolution that was approved to update and revise the meeting room policy at the libraries. Resolution to update and revise unattended children's policies was approved. Resolution to update and revise security camera policy, the security camera policy. There's some, let's see, I'll forget about that. We are retaining Michael Cerrone from the state library as an attorney. He's going to be assisting with Dominic, our current attorney. And the next regular meeting will be held Wednesday, January 3rd. That's to be announced. We're not sure yet on that. Lastly, the subcommittee to the animal shelter, we are tentatively set to have our first meeting on Tuesday, January 16th at noon at the shelter. We want the first meeting to be at the shelter so that we can get a good tour of it and sit down then and talk about what the needs are, and then we'll go from there. But as of now, I'm waiting to hear from everybody else, but as of now, it's set for noon on Tuesday, January 16th, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President Harris. Councilwoman Ship Freeman?
Not at this time.
Thank you. And I do not have any additional reports. 7, points of light. Any points of light from my council colleagues? Councilwoman Ship Freeman?
Well, this is, let's see, 26, 20. This is the second day of Kwanzaa, and there are celebrations, and they have celebrations in New Brunswick at this time at the Performing Arts Center. So that's very good. That'll be ongoing this week. So just making sure we cover all the bases.
Thank you. And for myself, I'd like to reciprocate happy holidays, happy New Year, happy holidays for everyone that has celebrated Kwanzaa or is celebrating Kwanzaa, has celebrated Christmas, or had celebrated Hanukkah. And again, happy New Year. Moving on to review of the agenda. 8, from the Business Administrator. A, resolution awarding contract purchase orders to various vendors for purchase of traffic control signs, supports, hardware, and safety devices not to exceed $285,000. And B, resolution authorizing contract extension with Unicorn HRO during transition to the new payroll HR system, $104,672. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Yes,
Council-
no, I defer to you.
Councilwoman Ship Freeman?
Resolution authorizing the contract extension with the Unicorn. Some of the neighbors, some of the constituents in town are kind of perturbed, disturbed by that fact that you are extension. They believe that it's a waste of taxpayer money, and they're asking, can the why, I don't know how you would answer it. They want to know, why is it so important for that extension when we rushed to get it ahead of time?
The extension request is kind of twofold. One, because the information is currently in the Unicorn system, I believe the last quarter tax payments have to go through that system, if I recall correctly. And then the second part is that access to the data after the contract term is up, which is at the end of this year, we have to pay a fee to get those, to still have access to those files. Laura, did I misquote on the initial item?
No, but also because, they have to do the W-2s and all that, we have them all year. So they have to do the end-of-year items. And for the, it'll be up to 3 months for it to have the historical information because they're going to, they need that until they make sure everything's over and everything's complete. And just as a background, we did do that with the last ones when we came over. We had to keep that history for a while until everything was in the new system. And from what of my understanding, it's going very quickly and very well, the turnover.
Oh, so I can tell the constituents that the reason why we have this extension is because we weren't unable to take care of the information and move it forward like we.
Because don't forget, the one company was here for all of '23. So they're the ones that are going to do the W-2s and all the end-of-year information. And then you do have to keep them around for a little bit for the first couple months to make sure you have all the backup and all the history from this, for the program from the past one.
So I am to tell them that we have to have the information in backup. We had the other program for so many years, and right now, we have this new system that is
That we're
way
just
better than the
turning
system.
into.
Is way better than the system that we have right
That's
now?
my understanding, yes. Yes, I mean, I can't speak for them directly, but I understand it's going to be much better.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Council Vice President Harris.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure on 7A, will these include school crossings? We've desperately been needing to have the flashing lights at school crossings. I'm thinking of the one closest to me, which is for Woodrow Wilson on Plainfield Road. So does this resolution include some flashing lights for crosswalks for school crossings?
I can't speak for exactly what it's for. I know it's for the beacons. I don't know where they're going to put them or where they have them, but they are adding more money to the resolution for those reasons, to put the flashing lights and beacons. I can't tell you exactly where it is, but I could find out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns?
on,
Councilmember Freeman.
What's Plainfield, is it road or avenue? Because we have two of them. Plainfield Road. With them tearing up the streets and all that stuff going on, and with them getting ready to build a new housing in there, so are they contributing to some of the stuff that will cause problems for our students while they're crossing the streets?
When you say Plainfield Road, is who contributing? Who's who
Is
contributing?
anybody contributing to that?
I
The people who
can't.
tore up the roads, that's a mess, that you got to drive.
Well, I'm
carefully
assuming
down
it's a
it?
utility. I'm not sure who's doing the work over there, but if it's a utility, they make them fix them and do all that. But I can find out in particular if you want to know who it is that's doing the work over there.
Okay, and also the housing with all those, I guess a lot of children coming out of there, coming from there, because we no longer have age restricted, we have regular homes. So I just want to know what's their contribution, or are they concerned about their kids crossing the street? Because that's a dangerous road.
I disagree, but that's.
No sidewalks on one side or anything, so, that's like a danger spot. That's something we should look at very quickly. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none. 9, from the Department of Finance. A, reported disbursements through December 21st. B, resolution authorizing tax sale certificate refund, $352,164. C, resolution authorizing tax overpayment refund, $7,116. D, resolution authorizing cancellation and refund of taxes for exempted disabled veteran. E, 2024 debt service budget. And F, resolution authorizing transfer of fund in the calendar year 2023 current fund appropriations. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none. 10, from the Department of Planning and Engineering. A, resolution provides for acceptance of constructed improvements for the 2021 Kilmer Road roadway improvements and authorizes final contract payment, including final retainage and closeout, totaling $10,038. B, resolution increases permissible expenditures for professional services contract to Bignell Planning Consultants for February through December 2023, $21,650. C, resolution releases performance guarantee. And D, resolution refunding cash performance. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Council President.
Yes, Councilwoman Schiff Freeman.
Is this, what happens all the time if this is connected to CME? I don't understand why every time we have CME, they always got a change order. They're writing this stuff, they're putting this stuff down, but they have a change order, so I don't get it why we're always paying extra money at the whole
Can I
time.
ask-
Like you don't know what the project is, that's, I'm just asking that, is this has something to do with the CME or
No,
with the change?
neither of these items are pertaining to CME. The first was the Kilmer Road improvements, which were the road resurfacing.
Sidewalks?
On Kilmer, I believe that was, yes.
I've seen some
part with that. It was the Safe Street to Transit grant. I think that was a part of. So this is not in regards to CME's items. And then the second item for Bignell Planning Consultants, that is a separate contract. That's for the Director of Planning and Engineering aspect.
Okay, I was just asking this because everybody's asking me why they keep having so many change orders and why are we losing money by the people who are actually writing the information to us. So you would think that's like, people think it's like gouging them when you write something. If I say, oh, this is $100,000, then I come back to you in 6 weeks and say, oh, no, I need another $50,000. That's the problem that people are having. But thank you. Thank you for your good response. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, 11 from the Department of Public Works. A, resolutions to release street opening escrows. And B, resolution authorizing contract purchase order to Bayshore for township recycling not to exceed $670,000. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
About the recyclables?
Yes, Councilwoman Schiff Freeman.
Is this the same price we were paying already?
Yes, it's a not to exceed
So
amount.
it's nothing-
It's been the same amount for the past 3 years. We have not come close to that 670 mark. I believe this year we're about 460. There is a certain tonnage increase, but it's not significant like it was last year. But this not to exceed amount is the same as it has been the past 2 years.
All right.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, 12 from the Department of Recreation. A, resolution setting hut food truck space rental fees for Lunar New Year celebration. And B, resolution setting hut food and parking rental fees for the Eid celebration. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Council President,
Yes,
I
Councilwoman
thought
Schiff
these were on the resolution we did like a couple of months ago, all of them collected together with
So-
me adding id.
Yeah, so that was the ordinance establishing which events would have fees applicable to them, but in the ordinance, it stated that by resolution, we would actually be setting the fees, like the actual fees afterwards. So the ordinance was for the events themselves, and then the resolutions are the fees associated with each event.
Well, I see the Lunar New Year coming up, but I don't see id coming up until maybe April.
Yeah, whether the event is immediate or not, I guess that's something that's going to be a little bit new since it's a new process. And to me, I guess it's better to get ahead instead of it being like a month behind and then.
Yeah. I understand that. I
scramble,
just,
but-
when I see different things, like I know when the Lunar New Year is, I know when that celebration is, and that's very coming upon us quickly, but I don't see it coming that quick. That's why I just questioned it about that celebration.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, 13 from the Chief of Fire. A, approval of volunteer firefighter, and B, resolution awarding contract purchase order for 2 Chevrolet Tahoes, $114,542. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, 14 from the Chief of Police. A, resolution awarding contracts purchase order for 4 Chevrolet Malibus, $96,310. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none from the Township Clerk. A, resolution appointing Shivam Shava as a member of the Zoning Board. And B, resolution regarding the annual report of audit for year ending December 31st, 2022. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Council President,
Yes.
I just
Councilman
want to
Coyle.
speak on behalf of the zoning appointment of Shivam Chabra. When he came on as a second alternate, knowing his background in engineering and so forth, I think this council gave him an opportunity. Having youth involved in zoning was important in his background, but he certainly has proved himself throughout many zoning board meetings, and I'm happy to see that you're making this recommendation to move him up into a zoning position. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Toyle. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? For myself, I reciprocate the comments that Councilman Toyle just made in regards to Mr. Chabra's qualifications for the position. I think that he has done a fantastic job as an alternate on the board, and I look forward to hopefully his appointment as a member of the board. With that, I do want to say thank you to Angela Prince Hernandez, who gave her resignation on the board, and thanked her for her service. 16, from the council member to the planning board. He is unfortunately not here this evening, so we will move on to unfinished business. Unfinished business, we have ordinance 2197 through -2023, which is the not to exceed on the salaries, and 2199-2023 in regards to the RC zone. Ordinance 2200-2023 in regards to the truck depot definitions. At the time of unfinished business, when it comes up in our regular meeting, I'm going to ask to table that. We did not receive a comment from the planning board as of yet, so legally we have to have them have an opportunity to provide that comment. So I'm going to motion to table that at the time that we hear unfinished business with no date established for the next hearing. So it will have to be reintroduced at that point.
Okay.
Okay. On the ordinance, we're speaking on it, or no?
This is
There'll be time for comment.
yeah, we do have time for
yeah,
comments
I
once
know,
we have
I
the
know.
public hearing.
Yeah.
Discussion items. I'll start from my right, Councilman Coyle.
None, sir.
Council Vice President Harris.
Yes, I just want to say what an honor it's been to serve as council vice president, and especially to serve under this terrific, fantastic council president that we've had. I want to pay homage to you, John, because you have really done a tough job in a tough year where there's been a lot of incoming that's been thrown at you. You've been pelted from right, left, and center, and you've kept your cool. You have been respectful to your fellow council members and to the public. And so I want to thank you for doing such a great job in leading us. I would like to see you do it one more time. And I want to thank everybody for supporting me for the council vice president slot. It wasn't a whole lot for me to have to do because this guy really, he knows his stuff, except for that 1 week, I think, that you were out. But it's been an honor to serve with you in these roles. So I want to thank you again. And again, Joyce, I want to wish you Godspeed on your future endeavors, but we're gonna get together.
Be there getting you.
Good. I count on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council Vice President Harris. Councilmember Schiff Freeman.
Well, there's nobody else in between. Well, I have to start off with the complaints from residents that live in the bottom town area by the store on Main Street that come up out of that little Avenue C. They said that, it's a lot of older people that live back there, and they're having a problem because they need to be more reinforcement there with the law enforcement, the way those trucks that just pull up there and they just block the street and they make you have to play chicken to get out of your yard. It's very, very bad. So make sure we see about Avenue C. Now, I was also given a message that the dog park is filled with a bunch of garbage and people just drop stuff off there. And they told me it's because some people don't have the pickup. like one side of town has a pickup, the other town doesn't. But they said that beware of the garbage that's being thrown there. It's a total mess. And let's see. Okay. They also asked me about broadband, and I told them that's a fantasy because the amount of money we need to fix the 26 pumps stations that we have in Edison is at the forefront. Because if we don't get those taken care of soon, we're going to be so deep in debt, we're not going to be able to move where we need to move to. And then, okay. Okay, they said the changeover, okay, okay. On the Mini Bville, I was gonna talk about the Mini Bville Center. Now, Mini Bville Center, when I was there years ago, the Mini Bville Center had very active programs for the young people and very active programs for the teenagers. And they also had a successful tutorial program. I just don't see enough recreational programs for our children. And what makes me say that is because I see people writing, oh, the kids from Thomas Jefferson, oh, they're the worst. Listen, I taught middle school. They're not the worst people. They're just the people that are now discovering who they are. So I've seen it that we have the Stelton Building. The Stelton Building is right there next to the library. Every child doesn't want to go to the library right after school. They're a little antsy. They want a little break. So that Stelton Building, because we spending money like crazy on parties and everything, so that Stelton Building, I think it would take maybe a couple of $1 million just to get the asbestos out of it. But I think it would be a good place for the kids to go to let off steam, to be able, do that, because you have some kids that want to be library and some kids who actively like to be involved. But after they get that steam, then maybe when they come into the library, then they've gotten rid of that. So they feel a whole lot better. I see us, I applaud that we're getting some new fields and different things, but those are seasonal. Our children are in school 90% of the time. They spend most of their time in school. They spend more time in school actually than they spend with their parents a lot of times if their parents work. So I just want us to be more conscious of the programs and the things that, more conscious of the programs and the things that we want to put forth for our children. You know what I mean? Because with us not having, we need more cricket, we need more tennis, we need things, we got to stop catering to adults. We have to make it important and let children know that they are number one. They're the first person in front of us because we want them to feel that way because we don't want them in the house like this. All the exercise they get is with their thumbs. All right, so I just think we can do better by utilizing and doing more for our programs. And then also, with our library and Clara Barton, they're like a little upset because they think the wagons are circling again. Now, you can't judge libraries exactly by circulation. Believe me, being a reading specialist, I know you can't judge them by circulation because people come in there. I've seen people in there tutoring people in American Sign Language, and there are other things that you do in a library, not just push books around the whole time. There are other things for you to do in that library. And I just think that we need like better leadership because if we have better leadership, then we can have a program at the library, something everybody can meet there on a Sunday for a program. You can meet there on a Saturday afternoon for a program. I think that we have some things, just like I told you about the Stelton Community Center. We have things, but we don't have people that know how to utilize them properly. That's my whole problem with that. And I just hope that, and I meant that when I told the people, if you're that involved with sports, you should be that same energy you should spend on school. You should spend that same energy on libraries. So if somebody's circling around and trying to take those things from anywhere in your neighborhood, Everybody should unite together, because when you go to college and you look down the bench, there's a whole bunch of other honor students down there playing basketball and playing tennis and doing other things. So we want our children to be complete. You know, it's not just mental, you gotta be physically well together too. And that's what, that's some of the things I think we should do. And other than that, at the Mini Beach Bill Center is not utilized properly, the Stoughton community, and we want to make sure we don't close any libraries in Edison. And we also want to make sure we maintain a better relationship with the school system, because then we can work together with recreation. And the last thing I'll say about recreation was, when John Speece was there, I have to give him kudos. When John Speece was there looking over the recreation program, it was an outstanding program, because he knew exactly what it took to gather the kids, to link up the neighborhood. He knew how to put on events, and he knew how to keep the kids very involved. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Freeman. And I do not have any discussion items on my end. At this time, we'll move on to the regular meeting, starting with the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes of November 13th?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Council Vice President Harris, second by Councilman Coyle. Just for housekeeping purposes, though, you have to abstain.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Madam Clerk, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I abstain. I wasn't here for that minute.
No, you were here for the.
I was there for that Wednesday? Oh, you missed that one? Okay.
No, she's
No.
27th.
But you missed 13.
I missed the 13th.
No, you missed the 27th.
I missed
No.
Wednesday, the 13th. Were you
No, I
here
think
for
you went
Monday, the
backwards.
11th?
She wasn't here on the, Ship wasn't here on the 13th.
I wasn't here on the
You're
13th.
right.
She wasn't
Right.
here, she was away.
No, you're right. She was not here on the 13th. You were here on the
I was
13th.
in another
I was
state.
not here on the 13th.
Could I make a recommendation, Council President,
Yes.
that the clerk review the attendance and then add an abstention to any individual who wasn't present?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. 20, approval of volunteer firefighter. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion approves. Council President remarks. I'll try to be brief. First, I want to say thank you to all the council members that supported my candidacy for the president. Without your support, obviously, I would not have been able to fulfill these duties this year, and it was quite a learning experience on my end. For the council members that didn't support me, I hope that my actions throughout the year were noble in serving the position. When I was fortunate enough to be nominated to this position, I tried to take some of the qualities that I liked from previous council presidents and implement them here, whether it be utilizing subcommittees, whether it be the proactive approach like Councilman Coyle has done during his tenure in regards to going out to the locations where projects were proposed and getting down to the details with that, or the advocacy and pushing forward with what you believe, as Councilwoman Freeman has done. You guys were mentors to me. You guys were who I looked up to, and I appreciate your service because that helped me become the council president that I was this year. As I mentioned, I tried to set up committees. I tried to allow for debate. Some may say I allowed for too much debate, but live and learn. And I tried to compromise and work together with all of my colleagues. There are numerous examples throughout the year, whether it's the parking easement to a lease, adding in need as one of the celebration items, what's before us tonight with the RC zone. I felt that we were able to accomplish a lot this year. And as I had mentioned, Councilman Coyle and Councilwoman Ship Freeman are here on the dais with me. If it weren't for your actions prior, the foundation would not have been there for me to take action on certain items, right? So we have the sports building that is being constructed. If it weren't for seeing the vision with engineering, allowing for the engineering resolution to go through, we wouldn't be there. So I thank Councilman Coyle for that. If it weren't for the debt restructuring that started under Councilwoman Ship Freeman's tutelage, we wouldn't be in the financial position that we are today to be able to facilitate these projects. So with that, I thank you for the groundwork that everyone has done prior. We've had a very active year. There's been a lot of improvements to department efficiencies. There's a lot of game plan for building improvements. There's a lot of engineering projects, recreation projects. I just mentioned the sports building. We obviously had the turf fields. The Toth Center is getting underway, and the splash parks. We've had numerous equipment upgrades that I think are going to benefit the residents of Edison Township tremendously, particularly in our DPW department. I think that we will see a real good return on investment there. We've passed numerous ordinances throughout the year. Some may be more high profile than others in regards to capital bond ordinances, but even the smaller ones that aren't presented a lot of attention, like the graffiti ordinance and the abandoned properties ordinances, I think will have a big impact as years come by. To end up though, I just want to say a bunch of thank yous because I appreciate all of the kind comments that I've received tonight and throughout the year, but the fact of the matter is that without the help of everyone here in the township, it wouldn't be possible. So with that, I'm just going to say a couple of thank yous. I'm going to say by name because it'll be a bit lengthy. I want to thank Mayor Joshi. I want to thank the administration, Sonia, Bob, Kat, Pat, Mary, Lori, Chelsea, to our legal team, Lou, Dave, Harlan, Ron, Mark, planning and engineering, to Hank, Jim, Rachel, Cassandra, and Brian, to our police department, Chief Brian, Deputy Chief Dudash, Sergeant Semino, Sergeant Winters, Sergeant Turner, Sergeant Patel, and obviously Captain Gerber over there. From our fire department, Chief Toth, Tax, Finance, and Purchasing, to Ken, Lena, Joanne, and Laura, Dr. Patel in Health, to Ray, Jermaine, Billy, Mark, and DPW, Jeff in IT, Bob, Roger, and James in our water sewer departments. And I know that's a lot of names to go through, but hopefully it gives you an idea of how vast the township is and how interconnected all of the departments are. There was a lot of information that was requested on my end. Everyone was extremely helpful, and for that, I thank you. I want to specifically give thanks to our clerk and deputy clerk. People do not understand what goes on behind the scenes, and sometimes it is chaotic. So with that, thank you so much. Words really cannot, express how gracious I am for your time and your effort this year. It really made a huge difference. And with that, I do want to just thank all the council members here. I know that we are on a bare bones shift right now, but I do thank Councilman Brescher for his inquiries, his dedication to diving deep into the details. Thank you to Councilman Coyle for all of your advocacy, specifically with beautification and with the general economics of the township. Thank you to Council Vice President Harris, because you were such a strong support throughout this year for me. Again, words can't truly do justice, and how you advocated not only for the cultural arts, but for the library and for the animal shelter, I greatly appreciate that. To Councilman Patel, again, who unfortunately is not here, for his willingness to take on the planning board, his advocacy for the complete streets policy. To Councilman Patil, same thing, like he knows so much about like the intricacies of how a government runs and how a meeting runs. And I look to his leadership in that aspect to help fine tune my skill set here. And to Councilwoman Freeman, I know I mentioned it before, but just your advocacy, whether it's with the minority community, whether it's housing, human relations, all of that, like, really just helps further us as a governing body here. So with that, thank you, everyone, for this year. It was extremely memorable on my end. I hope everyone can reflect on 2023 with pride and with joy, and I look forward to what 2024 has to bring. Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to unfinished business. Ordinances for further consideration, public hearing, and final adoption. Madam Clerk, please read ordinance 2197.
An ordinance establishing the not to exceed salaries of certain officers, department heads, and employees of the township.
Motion to approve.
At this point, I have to open up for public comment.
Sorry.
At this time, I'd like to open up to the public for any comments on the ordinance. Seeing none, can I get a motion to close
Motion to
the
close
public?
public portion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public comments is now closed. Again, procedurally, comments on the ordinance would happen after a motion on the ordinance. So a motion and a second. So at this time, can I get a motion on the ordinance?
Motion to approve.
Is this for, it's not final, is this final? Oh, it is, okay. All right, second.
So a motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. This time, I'd like to open it up for council comments.
Well,
Yes, Councilwoman Freeman.
I was told that these great, big, enormous salaries would bring us the best people. But I'm kind of disappointed because I think it brings the connected, not the well people, because people don't have certifications, they don't have the paperwork that they need. And please forgive me, because I come from the school system. In order for you to move to any spot, you must have a certification, you must have some other paperwork, and that's how you get the best and the brightest. And I just think that large salaries are done, but are okay. But I just think that when somebody was showing me a chart from another town that they were making like comparable salaries or whatever, but that person was sitting in that chair 10 years. I just think that when you come in the door, you don't have all the papers, you don't have all the background, and you jump to the top of the scale. I'm sorry, I just have problems with that. I don't think that's good, because I think that it lets our children, because a lot of them tell me, because I mentored a lot of teachers in their 20s, they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. We need to get rid of that saying. We need to reward people on their merit, and that's just my opinion about that with the people with the oversized salaries, because you know one thing? We have gigantic debt with bonds and all that stuff. So, and then we're gonna have more gigantic debt. And then the positions that are not filled, are we gonna use that for slush funds in order to move along? I mean, I'm sorry, but I just have an issue with people not being who they are and receiving the amount of money that they receive. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Schifferman, any
Yes.
other?
Yes.
Council Vice President Harris.
Yes, I take a different view. In looking at municipalities that have similar sizes to Edison, it's pretty much in line. This whole list of positions and salary ranges, it's pretty much in line with other municipalities that have the similar populations. And I would say that by and large, who we have in these positions, we really do have some outstanding people. We have, I'd say the vast majority of the people who these salary ranges are covering are really outstanding in the work that they do. So I'm going to be supporting this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Council President, I just agree with Councilwoman Harris. These people are qualified, deserve to be properly rewarded for the salaries that, or for the fifth largest municipality in the state of New Jersey. We are in a state with 534 municipalities, and this is on cue for what we're getting. Thank you, Council President.
Council
Thank you,
President.
Councilman Toyle. Councilman
Council President, point of order. This is not a back and forth. We're voting. We're in voting. We're having a discussion. So I'm just, this
Council
is not a
President.
discussion. This is council comments.
Council
We're in
comments
voting.
on.
I'm not going to allow it.
Excuse me, but you're,
Point of order.
excuse me, but he's the
Hold on,
council
hold on.
president.
Point of order.
Point of order. Councilman Toyle, you were recognized. You made your comment. Councilwoman Freeman, any additional
Well,
comments?
my additional comment is that they are, like Council Vice President said, they are people that are worthy. I'm not talking about those people. So that would make me vote a yes. But I'm talking about people in positions that don't have the proper stuff and don't have the amount of time and experience that warrants such a large salary. That's all I'm saying. I don't have anything against the people who have put in the time and put in the work to be in those positions. I applaud them, okay?
Thank you for your clarification. Any other comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Coyle?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes. Ordinance passes. Ordinance 2199. Madam Clerk, please read ordinance.
An ordinance amending Chapter 37 zoning by creating a new 37-13A R-C zone.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to open it up to the public for anyone that would like to comment on the ordinance. Seeing none, can I get a motion to
Motion to close
the
public
public portion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Toyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public portion is now closed. At this time, can I get a motion on the ordinance?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. Any council comments? For myself, I look forward to the next steps with what this ordinance brings to the community. At this time, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Coyle?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes. Ordinance 2200.
No, just straight right off the top, yes. Yep.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to table this ordinance. The reason being is the planning board is within their jurisdiction to provide comments within 35 days. They did not offer comment within that time period. We're ending the end of the year, and I would like to give them that opportunity to provide comment. So I'm motioning to table with no set date for rehearing, so most likely will have to be reintroduced at that point.
That's correct, Council President.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
So motion by Council President Pointer, second by Council Vice President Harris. Any council comments? Madam Clerk, roll call. And again, this is to table the ordinance indefinitely.
Councilmember Coyle?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes, so the ordinance has been tabled. At this time, I'd like to open up for public comments on the resolutions only. Maria.
Maria Orchid, 83 Jefferson.
Thank you.
The first one, resolutions about the traffic control signs. Wanted to know where they're going to be placed. The next one on the resolutions authorizing contract extension, R748. My understanding, when a new payroll company comes in, it accepts the old payroll's information. And the last one, I have a question about Resolution 744, what the details are for the recycling. Some of our residents are not understanding what needs to go into the recycling bin. Is this going to label it for them or give them more instructions? Thank you.
Thank you. Traffic control signs, there's not a definitive list as to where they're going to be placed at. Ultimately, that's going to be determined. I do know that there's been conversations of locations, but nothing that has been made into a definitive list. And this is the increase in the not to exceed amount is to accomplish the fact that there are that many locations that we're trying to get to. The contract extensions, I think that that is mostly in part because we're still onboarding the new program. I don't know if you can offer any additional insight, Laura.
Yes, you have to keep the, well, you know, I understand, you have to keep the information from the old one and bring it over to the new one. And the new company is doing all of that. But, you know, when you run a new system, you also have to make sure that you have all the history that you can go back on it. Plus, like I said, this company is new, so in 2023, you have to get all the W-2s, all of, you know, any information that you need from them, the old company is going to do for them. And, you know, that's what it's for. You can't just, you know, cut one off completely just like that. You do have to have a little bit of time to get a new company in there and running, to make sure everything's right.
Thank you. In regards to the recycling, this is just a continuation of our contract with the company that we send the recycling to. So in regards to what's collected and differentiating the types of items, I don't think that this resolution necessarily pertains to that. I wouldn't anticipate any adjustments in terms of what we're actually recycling. This is just more of an extending of the contract that we currently have. Thank you. Any other comments or any other? Yes, Ms. Conway.
Resolution.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I have a question also on 735, 122023, and it's a not to exceed item, but at this point, there's no idea of how many signs that we're getting, so how do we know that this is even in the ballpark or even close to what our needs are? I would think you would have a closer idea of, we need 12 and they're going to cost $44,000 a piece, or we're going to need 20 and they're going to be $10,000 a piece. But to not to exceed $285,000 when you really don't have the paperwork to back it is all I'm questioning. I'm not complaining, I'm just questioning.
Sorry. I couldn't hear what she said.
Any other questions before I? In regards to the amount, there is baseline based on historical uses. So as an example, like the police department is a portion of this amount, right? They know annually what signs they need, what signs are going to be utilized, and create their budget accordingly. Same thing with the water and sewer department. DPW, yes, there are some baselines as to what the quantities are, but since we are expanding the scope of what we're looking to do, some of that does have to be a budgetary guesstimate, so to say, which is why this is a not to exceed amount versus an exact amount. I gave the example with Bayshore Recycling. That's a not to exceed amount of $670,000, but our actuals are generally around 460-ish, right? So it's not to say that you're necessarily going to use that full amount. It's just that if it came to that point, you just couldn't exceed past that. In regards to how, is there an exact quantity based, I can ask, DPW about that, but my understanding is that they have a catalog of what they need, and this is their recommendation.
Council President.
Yes, Councilwoman Schiffern.
Yes, the BA couldn't help them out with 735 by saying, this will cost this amount, this will cost that amount, this will cost that amount, because I think that they're saying that it's kind of vague.
So as an example, the light beacons that are normally talked about, I've seen price ranges of 5,000 per to 10,000
Yes.
per. We may have 10 locations that are up for consideration, but that price range, just on those beacons alone, using this as for example purposes, would be 50,000 to 100,000. So to me, it's for budgetary purposes versus the actual having the definitive quantities. Laura, I know you're in purchasing primarily, so you might be able to offer.
Just let me explain. I think what you're also not understanding is this isn't just for the beacons. I think the increase for the DPW is for the beacons. But understand, we've been doing this for years. This is for street signs, stop signs, all of those things. And most of the contracts are based on a percentage above the manufacturer's list price, which we all know is increasing rapidly. So those, so it's not just for the beacons. The increase from last time is because they want to install the beacons, where, like I said, I don't know the exact locations, but that's what the increase is for.
No, I mean, I just, if you could just, when you do the paperwork with this, you could just say, this sign cost, this how much this sign.
Well, we
cost,
do,
how much
we
that
do.
cost, yeah.
We've, run a report of what we spent last year, and we always know it goes up every year because it always goes up. And then your departments say, you know what, we wanted to get this year. And like I said, the beacons were the increase. That's why there's the major increase in that. Now, this is just a not to exceed, as the council president said. So when the budget, they do their budget and they see how much is in the budget and how much they can actually spend, that's when, it's literally not to exceed that amount without coming back to council and asking for more.
Will they give the money back if they don't spend it all?
Well, if we don't spend it, we don't
Goes
spend
back
it.
into the general budget if it's not spent.
Excuse me?
It goes back into the general budget.
Yes,
If
I
it's
know.
budgeted, yeah.
I'm saying this for our people that would like to know the answer to the question with that, so, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak on the resolutions only? Yes.
Good evening, Ben's from Edison, New Jersey.
Thank you.
Question for resolution 745 and then 746. So, what years are going to be the two Chevy Tahoes for the fire department? Is it has better gas mile? Because I divided that number from 96,000. It's 57 some change, and then I also did the dividing of the 96,000, and that's like, what was it? I have it off the top of my head. 24,000 and some change. So I guess you guys had like, do you guys want for a bid for these Chevy Malibus? Because it's very dirt cheap for 4 of them. That's not bad for 4 of them for 96,000. But any of those years for the Chevy Malibus and the Chevy Tahoes?
They're both figured for 2024, and one of the reasons, just for general understanding, township with the state co-op generally has the ability to purchase at a discounted rate, which is why you see that they're at a reasonable price.
Yeah, I guess Bidenomics already is working. So, so yeah, all right, cool. Wait, so when you said 2024, were you referring to the Chevy?
The model year for both of them.
For both, those are both of them?
Yes.
Not bad. All right, cool. I approve it.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak on the resolutions? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the public comment on the resolutions?
Motion to close public comment?
Motion by Council Vice President Harris, second by Councilman Coyle. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public comment on the resolution is now closed. Anything to be pulled for a separate vote, starting from my right? Councilman Coyle?
None, sir.
Council Vice President Harris?
None, sir.
Councilwoman Schiff Freeman?
744.
744. 744. And I do not have anything on my end. Just to confirm, 744 for the recycling, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So the consent agenda will be resolutions 730 through 743 and 745 through 752, with 744 being pulled for a separate vote. At this time, can Madam Clerk, roll call, please. Oh.
Motion to approve,
Oh,
Council
sorry,
President.
sorry.
Consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Council Vice President Harris. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Coyle?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Ship Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes. 744, Councilwoman Ship Freeman, any comments?
I'm still interested in the price. They told me for the 3 years prior to now that it was only 450,000. Was that true?
So there's the actual amount that's expended and the not to exceed amount. So we're establishing that the not to exceed amount is 670, but the actual expenditure, until it reaches that amount, would just be part of our general budget and operating expenditures.
So that means that it was 450 before?
No, the not to exceed has been the same amount. The actual expenditure, so like if you took all the line items that we've had to pay the vendor this year, is about 450,000, 460 as of right now.
All right. No, because I'm getting information that, I got information before I came here that it was 450, and they were saying that, how did it jump all the way to 670? So I just want you to answer that for the.
Yeah, no, these are the same not to exceed that, from what I pulled back, we're going back 3 years to my recollection.
All right, so we've always put 670 down even though it was 450?
I'll never say always, but I can say from
Most of the time?
2021, 2022, and this year, the not to exceed amount is 670.
Okay, for this last 2 years. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion on the resolution?
Motion to approve?
I'll second it. Motion by Council Vice President Harris, second by Council President Pointer. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Coyle?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Ship Freeman?
Yes.
Council President Pointer?
Yes. At this time, I'd like to open up for oral petitions and remarks, starting from the list. Mr. Orchid.
Maria Orchid, 83 Jefferson.
Thank you.
First, I would like to say thank you, Joyce, for your wonderful enthusiasm and your passion these last couple of years. I look forward to sitting next to you on my side of the aisle. First thing, I don't have any dates for any events coming up. We're waiting for the calendars to come out. Clara Barton Library would need some signs. How are we doing with that?
I'll answer after.
Deer study, question mark. Master plan, where are we? Crossing guards, do we have enough? Are you still looking for more? We need more members for the Human Relations Commission. Please put in your application. We'd love to have you. We have open beds at Swales and Dwyer. Please check our website at Edison Community Gardens Initiative. And I'd like to offer to everyone a Happy New Year and look forward to seeing you in 2024.
Thank you. I know the two questions were library signs and deer population. Was there a third one? Master plan? Master plan would fall under the jurisdiction of the planning board, so in regards to when they would be hearing it, I would have to defer to them. I don't have an update at the moment. However, I will reach out and see if I can get that information for the reorg or the first meeting of January. Deer population, I provided an update at the last meeting. I sent out requests to the committee about meeting in January. We met with the NJDEP and ventured out to a couple of locations, so we know what they're looking for on their end, what they recommend that we do. Now it's taking the information from the state, the county, local and other municipalities around just to see what's the best fit for Edison. And the library signs for Clara Barton, I'll ask the administration if there's an update. The last correspondence I had was probably 3 months ago. I had reached out to Alan and Pat to follow up, but there wasn't anything determined at that time. So I'll also follow up with them as well. Any additional comments to the questions?
Council President, now that you remind me of signs, the sign that sits out in front of my house that was knocked down by a truck like a year and a half ago that I gave the DPW, they were supposed to put that sign back up. It never happened. It tells you to go up to the corner and make a left to go to the senior citizen building. And number two, the Minnie B. Ville sign is not there. They told me, oh, just go inside. You can, when people are driving down the street, they need to see the Minnie
I'll
B. Ville
definitely
sign.
take, all right, so Minnie B. Veal and the one across from Avenue.
From the seniors, those two signs, please get those signs taken care of, because I've called the DPW and everybody, so maybe you, Sir John, can get them done.
Will do. Any other, oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Diamond.
Diamond, 74 Calvert.
Thank you.
Going back to Lois's letter, I am unable to be here tonight, but didn't want to let the opportunity of the last council meeting of the year pass without expressing thanks to Council President Pointer and outgoing Councilwoman Chip Freeman. I thank Bruce for Rob. John, you have gone above and beyond in your duties as Council President. It is apparent the abundant time and effort you have put into researching issues and keeping Edison residents informed. You always ran a fair and organized meeting. You exemplify what a council president should be. Again, thank you. I'll see you around the neighborhood walking with your cute daughters. That's from Fred and Lois. And for me, if you remember, we had a few conversations at the beginning of this, and I had confidence in you, and you pulled it out. I am proud of you. I knew you could do it. In spite of the bullies around you, you survived, and that's what heroes do. Did a good job, and we're proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next on the list, and I apologize if I mispronounce, Prashant. Sorry about that.
Yeah, namaste. Respected council members, officials of Edison Township. My name is Prashant. I live in Edison. I am an active member of Hindu community here and a volunteer of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangha USA called HSS. So HSS is non-profit Hindu social culture organization registered in US. It has been serving the Edison community for over 11 years, conducting various community services programs, bringing a diverse culture perspective to our township. I would like to spend some time providing a brief overview of the organization's work this year before I get to the main initiative I want to highlight today. Over the course of the year, HSS has put together a number of events such as a Teachers Appreciation Days, food and winter clothing drives, yoga for seniors, and community cleanups, and has had the pleasure of participating in initiatives organized by other local institutions. For Edison Earth Day on April 15, HSS participated in the cleaning drive organized by Edison Health Department with over 40 volunteers helping to clean up the state park at 37 Christian Street. As part of police department's community-oriented policing initiative, we were pleased to connect personally with officers who visited our local chapter and shared valuable insights on safety for do's and don'ts. We also celebrated our festival Raksha Bandhan with them, which is centered upon the values of unity and protection. Currently, a few of our female volunteers are engaged with the self-defense program led by Edison Police Department as well. We also helped support a wonderful initiative by a broader Hindu community called Seva Diwali, which is what I want to focus on today. Edison's local Hindu community recently completed its 6th annual Seva Diwali food drive. I'm happy to say that it was a tremendous success, and I'm here today to inform the council about it and to thank township officials for their support. Thank you very much. Seva Diwali is a large food donation drive organized by various Hindu American and dharmic organizations across the country, including yoga and other spiritual centers, Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, Jain, centers, temples, and gurudwaras, as well as the linguistic and Indian socio-culture organizations participated in this. The project was started in New Jersey in 2018. HSS has been involved since then, helping coordinate donation activities along the various participating organizations and communities at a national scale. This year, over 500,000 pounds of food and essential were distributed nationwide across 200 plus cities in 34 states. Thanks to the dedication of over 2,000 plus volunteers and the collaboration of over 400 communities and organizations. In our home state, that is New Jersey, we were able to donate around 88,000 pounds of food. In addition, several local businesses, culture, and religious organizations, such as the Sai Datta Peetham on Oak Tree Road and Art of Living Center from Piscataway, Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir, and other partnered to make the initiative success. HSS volunteers, who often include whole families, parents and their children, and set of food collection centers at their homes and campaign in their neighborhoods. One of the many highlights of our Township Seva Diwali program is partnership with Middlesex College. Over the last 5 years, we have been able to collect over 46,000 pounds of food and other items to support college food pantry, which seeks to support students who may be struggling with food insecurity and that they can focus on their academics. College President Mark McCormick, administration, and various community leaders presided over the concluding event at this year's donation drive. I have personally been involved with Seva Diwali for several years, and it's been a great source of joy to see many volunteers and organizations coming together for a positive purpose. Since it started in 2018, we have collectively distributed over 2 million pounds of food and essential nationwide. That is roughly 2 million meals. I am here today because I felt it is important to bring this relatively young but vibrant initiative to the attention of this council and the broader public. Several Edison Township officials, including Mayor Sam Joshi, Councilman Ajay Patil, have been a great source and support. The benefits of the program are clear, and we would like to work more closely with you all to see how we can expand this initiative in the future. We believe Seva plays a crucial role in an individual's life. There is an ancient saying in Sanskrit that is called Paropkaratham idam shariram, which roughly means this body is meant to act benevolently. Through efforts like these and more, we hope to unite the community and serve the society together. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Thank you. If I could just ask, if you have general contact information, if you can give it to our deputy clerk over on the side here, because we can make sure that all of the contact information for the organization is on the township website. Okay. We have a charities organization tab, so we can make sure that that's included there.
Yeah, definitely. I will do that.
Thank you. We are off the list. If anyone would like to speak. Yes, Ms. Conway.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle.
Thank you.
First, I would like to thank President Pointer for conducting very reasonable meetings, and thank you for following up when I had a question or a complaint, and I find that very refreshing. So I thank you for doing what you do. Number two, my latest endeavor is the corner of Inman Avenue and Old Raritan Road. If you ever, at any time of the day, try to make a left or a right onto Old Raritan from Inman, you're literally taking your life in your hand. I was so happy when that senior center, I forget what the name of it is, Care Point or whatever it was turned down because I thought Inman would get even worse. But it does get worse. And going down that way to make the left onto Old Raritan, you can actually be stopped by that Care Point Senior Center. And a light would be very nice because of the fact you can see to your left to make a left onto Old Raritan to go towards South Plainfield. But to go on to the right, it's curved. So sometimes I've been watching a couple of times over this past year, people making the left because they thought it was safe when all of a sudden somebody was coming from the right. And I would hope that we wouldn't wait until there was a true accident or injury due to that. So if that's something we could look into. I know Inman's a county road and probably Old Raritan, something else, but if something could be done about that, that's my latest. Because my grandchildren live in South Plainfield and I go back and forth 4 to 6 times a day. So many times I try to avoid that, but it is the most direct to get where I'm going. So if that could be something on the agenda to at least look into, I'd appreciate it. My last thing is the Human Relations Commission. At this point, we're still only at, I believe, 8 members. But we have been resilient due to our chairperson, Maria Wise, in monthly meetings with visions as to where we want the commission to go. We've had the opportunity to meet with various people in the state and other townships to more or less train us as to what a true commission should be doing. We also brought in someone from the Director of Security through the Board of Education to see if he would come online to help us with things at the school level, and they're very willing to get on board. And the last exciting thing was we're going to be meeting, I believe there's 4 or 5 of us that are going to be meeting with the mayor on January 11th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we can share where our visions are and see where we can go from there. Because we all feel it's a very important commission and we would like to spread out and make it even more important and get involved within not only the township, but the county and the state of New Jersey, because in this time period, we truly need it. So an update, and would look, I know we're allowed up to 20 members, so if there's any investigation as to what the status of anyone else applying is, we would appreciate it. Thank you. And happy holidays to everyone celebrating, and Happy New Year to us all. May 24 be a better year than 23. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll reach out to the mayor to see about filling the position. I believe they're mayoral appointments, correct?
I'm trying very hard, and we also need more diversity on the human relations. And with the 15 members, we have 5 non-voting members. So that's how it comes to 20 people. So with 15, I guess you have a quorum now, at least? Oh, okay. So if one person's absent,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll look to follow up with that. In regards to Inman and Old Raritan, you had mentioned about it being a county road. That obviously adds a layer of things. However, I looked at Google Maps real quick. I'll ask DPW if there's anything we can do about the line of sight at the corner there, because it looks like there's a bunch of brush that might be blocking the view. So, thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak? Yes.
Good evening, Ben's from Edison, New Jersey. Do you have the floor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. What a year we had for this. It was very challenging for you, Mr. Pointer, President Pointer. You know, I wanted to thank Joyce Shipman. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. You will be missed, but you have history and you did so much in this township. And I want to give one last applause for Joyce Shipman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I barely come here once in a while. I've been busy with my father and other stuff. But I've been listening to what we all been listening to with behind us, the people behind me. And I hope 2024 comes so much better than 2023 because we definitely need a lifesaver in these desperate times of what's been going on with this world today. And I want to thank the police department, including the chief, Dudash, Gerba. You guys are literally protecting this township. You really are. I still got you on that. But the fire department want to appreciate the administration of Joshi, everyone. You guys did a great job, and hopefully this year will come better than ever before. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas and a happy and a healthy new year. Thank you.
Thank you. So would like to speak? Any rebuttals? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public comment is now closed. At this time, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Happy New Year.
A second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Coyle, second by Councilwoman Shipp
Happy
Friedman.
New
All
Year,
in favor?
everyone.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting stands adjourned.